Good evening, everyone. Once again, February, March, April, May, June, 5 months later, we are doing programs every week, streaming on Rick Concoff's Coffee House, on Rick Concoff's YouTube, on the Jewish Community Center of Sonoma County, and on my own Facebook, as well as tonight on Emily Jean Brown's Facebook. And hopefully some of her friends have joined us from by now. And we are going to hear her play again. And it's really special for me because I wanted to tell her before we went on, but I didn't get a chance to tell her that, whoops, what happened there? There we go. I wanted to tell her that I love listening to her voice, and I've always loved listening to her voice. This is Emily Jean Brown. Hello there. Were you able
Hi.
to were you able to get it on your Facebook?
I just shared it to my personal Facebook page and my artist page, which is facebook.com/Emily Jean Brown. So it should be going there.
That is great. Well,
Yes.
I have known Emily, and do your friends call you Emily Jean, or is the
No,
Emily Jean for your performing?
it's for my performing. The reason I Emily Jean is my middle name, but the reason that I adopted the Emily Jean Brown is because I had to choose a name for my Actors Equity membership,
Right.
and there was already an Emily Brown. Surprise, surprise. So I thought about changing the last name, but that just felt weird, so I just added the middle name.
There actually is an Emily Brown who's a YouTuber
Yeah.
who has recorded a song with one line of a Frankie Valli song. I love you, baby. Ba da 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 ba da 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 da. She sings no other part.
Just that
It's like
part.
can't keep my eyes off of you. It's a whole song,
Oh
and
my
she has this
goodness.
one line, and somehow it went viral on YouTube.
Wow.
So when I saw Emily Brown was like had 2 million posters, and I go, "Wow, Emily, that is so awesome!" And then I listened to her, and I go, "Wait, that's not Emily." And Emily wouldn't sing just one line of a song. Literally, I don't know
She
how they
sounded
get
it?
away with it. She's got a beautiful, beautiful. She's very, very young. I don't know. She's like a teenager, and she's got a
Yeah.
really cute voice. But you only hear her sing, "I love you, baby." Ba da 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 da. And then she over and over. You should listen to it, but nobody else listened to it because this is the Emily Brown that we love and that we want to hear play. So I've known Emily for a long, 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 long time since she was a little girl, and she's always had that voice. And I think that it is a gift. And the interesting thing about musical talent is it's not really a gift if you keep it to yourself. It's a gift if you put it out there. And so I've been loving listening to your YouTubes and your songs, and I've always loved listening to them. I've seen you in musicals, school musicals, and all that kind of thing. And I'm so glad you decided to come back again because you get to see my new brick wall. This is
Yes.
the tie-dye brick wall. It's sort of the
Oh.
multicolored cooler version.
Oh,
The
there's
other
like
one
actually kind of like a red area and a blue area. I'm
right.
seeing that now. I thought that was just sort of the effect of the lighting, but that's
No, no,
actually
it's yet another background of my sophisticated studio. Uh
wow. It's
that
very West Side Story.
yes, and it only looks strange when somebody who's performing backs into it, who's performing live here, and it falls over and everything. Then you see
The
the
illusion is
the dream is
ruined.
broken.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, um, that leads me to asking you to start with a song,
Sure.
and I would definitely love to hear something. Whatever it is, you go for it, and you can even do two songs, and I will just like listen, and then
Okay.
after a while, I'll disappear if I
Oh my
push the right
gosh.
button. Now, see there, that makes you little and me big. Hi, Emily. You're
Hello.
tiny.
I'm
You're...
small.
Watch this magic. Look at that.
Whoa.
See,
Beautiful.
isn't that nice? That's much better.
All right. Well, this song is kind of a fun one to start off with because it was kind of inspired by this guitar, which my partner Eric made me, which you met him last time we did this.
Right. I didn't know he made it for
He
you.
made
Oh
this
my
for
God.
me. It was a holiday gift and it was a
Wow.
surprise. Yeah, it's pretty
Was
amazing.
it in your stocking, or was
Kind
it was
of.
that a little gift or a big gift?
It was a big gift.
Right.
Many actually the family chipped in for it too, so it was kind of like a
Wow.
joint thing. It was very special. I'll tell
So
you more
cool.
about it
Okay,
later,
yeah.
but
We'll
I
talk.
decided to name this guitar Nina, which is also the title of the first song that I'm going to play, and it's based
Awesome.
on one of my favorite characters from a Chekhov play. So
Great.
bringing
Take
in
it away.
my theater identity as well. Let me fix my.
You fix whatever you
There
have
we
to
go.
fix.
Get the reverb back.
Yeah, nice.
Want to get back to where I can feel the stars and where the moon runs her fingers through my hair. And in the silence, the voices are so much louder still. They're calling out my name and beckoning me there. Memories fading so far away from me and oh so close that I can feel it on my skin. And I am craving who I used to be, but all the doors are locked up tight and she won't let me in. You and I were made for greater things. Nina, like little birds who never learn to take to wing, and still we hear the melody, but we've forgotten how to sing. Think I've lost it standing by the kitchen sink, and all my failures wrapped around me like a cloak. And I can't get past it 'cause it's written on my face, so other people laugh, but I don't get the joke. Nina, you and I were made for greater things. Nina, like little birds who never learn to take to wing, and still we hear the melody. And I don't know what to do with my hands. Oopsy Daisy. They just dangle there like apples on a string. You have no idea how much it hurts to know you'll never get back to a feeling. Nina,
What a pretty song. Did tell me again what's the background of that song? Did you tell us at the beginning?
Yeah, so it's titled Nina, and it's based on this character from the play The Seagull
Right.
by
Okay.
Anton Chekhov, and it's
Got it.
also the name of the guitar, I decided.
Okay, right.
So,
I was busy making adjustments during that time. So, but it sounded beautiful,
thank you.
and it's really interesting too that there's this there's this thing about a painting is done and it's hanging on the wall and you look at it, and a sculpture is done and you look at it.
Mhm.
A song is written and it only lives when it's played, and to an extent it does live when it's recorded, but when it's played live it really lives, and I think that's why people love going to live concerts.
Yeah,
It's not
definitely.
just, oh, I get to see the famous person, but I think that it is a moment. It is a moment that artificial intelligence cannot replicate. I think one of the few things that artificial intelligence will not be able to replicate is live performance, right?
Yeah,
Because you need humans.
that's true. I was listening to a an AI created piece of music in a music studio that our friends run the other day. That was kind of interesting. It takes samples from different things and kind of like tries to piece it together. It was very strange and robotic and sounded very weird, but that's different than like an actual live performance.
Right, and then becomes, I think, the ethical and the artistic question of and it's not a moral question. It's a cosmic question, and the question is, so you buy a beat or a track that someone sells online, right? And you
Mhm.
can just like go buy something a background to your song, and then you own that or you lease it, and then you write the words and sing over it,
Mhm.
and that becomes a hit song, and people regard it as your song, yet you didn't really create half of it, and yet that is a lot of what you hear on pop radio is.
Yeah, and you also hear a lot of collaboratively written, I mean, I think something that I've realized kind of dipping my toe into the music
Hmm.
universe and being more exposed to like what Eric does, my partner, and his
Hmm.
friends and other musicians is just like the role of songwriters in the industry. And I think that, my whole perception of what like a real musician was about, being a singer songwriter, because that's sort of the tradition that I draw from. But
Hmm.
now I see also that there are many songwriters who are not artists in the way of, when you think of the idea of an artist, it's like the identity of the artist, right? So it's not
Hmm.
just about the writing, but it's
Hmm.
like the persona and the performance and the
Hmm.
sound, of the voice maybe or whatever. um, but there are so many different moving parts and configurations in the music industry, and there are singer songwriters, but then there are also songwriters who are not performers or who don't have that level of attention for their music because they're kind of more behind the scenes. And then there are artists who are artists but not songwriters, so there's a
Right.
lot of different configurations.
Right. And ultimately it goes back to something I may have said in our last when you last performed, which is, and by the way, this is Emily Jean Brown, and she's performing on Rick Concoff's Coffee House, and you see her Venmo there at the bottom because she likes remuneration, which means it's actually, my whole life I said remuneration
Oh, I always
until.
thought it was remuneration because number. It sounds like
Right. And I
numer.
was corrected by a drama theater teacher that you and I know very well and have worked
Mm.
with many times.
Yes, Mr. Simmons.
And it's remuneration. Anyway, she likes to be remunerated, which sounds almost wrong,
Yeah,
but
I don't know what
yeah,
that
right.
sounds like.
But it does help. And so what I was saying is I want to go back to the difference between a discovery and an invention.
Hmm.
which is that there's infinite combinations of notes that are out there, and over time people pluck out certain combinations of those infinite combinations,
Mm-hmm.
and people go, wow, I like that, and they're inspired by something that has happened or is happening in their life, and that brings it, that it's like channeling. The other one, the invention, is like, let's write a song, let's get 8 people together and write a song, and it's not bad, but that's an invention. And if you look over the course of time, it feels like the discovery songs are the ones that last. Like, the Beatles, every song was like kind of a discovery song.
I might fight you on that. I mean, I don't know that I have enough expertise to fight you on it, but I mean,
If you're gonna fight me, I better get bigger. Hang
let me
on.
just tell you. Okay, okay, thank you. Get bigger. So what are some of the greatest like pop songs, or I mean, just songs? In my opinion, some of the great
Hmm.
songs are like songs that Carole King wrote,
Yes.
and I know that she was very much like in the early part of her career before she became the artist Carole King.
Right.
She was like the songwriter, and she had her writing partner,
Right.
and they would sit down and write. So I just don't know if the lasting quality is necessarily connected to one or the other. I think that you can
Right.
get a great lasting song out of either.
Well, like, will you love me tomorrow? Will you
Mhm.
still love me tomorrow? And you think about those lyrics are so iconic.
Yeah.
And then she didn't write them. They were written by her guy. Can't remember his name. He's very
Mhm.
famous. But anyway, he passed also, sadly. And she was married to him for a while.
Right.
But anyway, and then she put it together with music. So
Mhm.
one could say that was kind of inventive, but it was magical. So yeah, I get what you're saying. We could
I only
we
I only I only push back on the notion because I think sometimes I feel like uh what do I want to say, extremes, or like sort of statements that
right.
sort of that romanticize the creative process, or
Hmm.
make it feel inaccessible in any way.
Right.
um I try to stay away from, because I think there is sometimes that feeling of like, oh, I'm not inspired, so I can't make anything, or
Right.
oh, I'm drawing from other influences, and I'm using a writing
Right.
partner. So, and it's like, why, who's to say that that's less valuable in the end? I mean, you just never know, but
Good
I think
point.
I try to stay sort of
Yeah. And if
in
it's
thinking about creative process.
something that's commissioned, that's an
Right.
example. And I
Mhm.
have this young person I coach, and he says, "True that." And I love "true that." You know that expression, because "true
Of
that"
course.
means I concede this point to you.
Thank you. Yes.
And "true that" is the absolute um antithesis of "my bad," because a lot of people say "my bad," but "my bad" is almost like self-forgiveness, and like, it's like, stuff happens, oh well,
Mhm.
stuff happens, I'm late, my bad. And
Right.
that's so disingenuous, but I love "true that," so I'm saying "true that" to you. Thank you for that feedback. And with that, another song.
Great. I was anticipating that you were going to say that.
Discovery or invention?
This is a
You don't have to say.
discovery. This
Okay.
one is a
Of course
discovery.
it
And
is.
Nina was a discovery too,
Of
actually.
course.
So
I could tell that.
there you go. There you go.
So
All right.
those are the songs that move me anyway, but
Yeah.
who asked me?
Well, I'm gonna play an invention one and see if you connect to it.
Okay. I
But
mean,
first, I'm gonna
Crocodile
play
Rock.
Discovery.
Your song by Elton John is a discovery song, and Crocodile Rock is an invention song, I think. But
I don't
that's
know
just
Crocodile Rock.
na 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 na. It's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's the first one he did it to Troubadour on his, like, in his movie.
Okay, yeah.
Is Yeah, it's the
I
song you
think
open.
okay.
Anyway, off on tangents, as you know, I'll go.
Okay, so I have to do this weird thing with my mixer where when I put my effects on, I can't hear you. So just
Okay,
so you know,
I'm not going to say a thing.
if you start talking right when I'm done, I won't hear you until I
Okay,
press the button.
got it.
Okay, here we go. So this one it was a discovery, and it just kind of like landed on me. But I think I wrote it before the election, I think. Before, not right before, like about it, but it just came to me when the news cycle was just feeling so overwhelming. I mean, which was basically all year. But it was just, it's sort of the feeling of wanting to indulge in a fantasy of escapism in the face of all of that difficult news. So it's called either To the Sea or Sea Song or something about the sea. Here
Okay.
Whoa. What if we both just left our lives? Stop trying to make everything right. Would you follow me? Would you follow me? We'd build a house to be our home. I wouldn't mind being alone. Would you follow me? Would you follow me? By the shores of the rocky sea, just you and me. At the edge, so cold and clean is where we will meet. The whole world's troubles are too wide, but I still need you by my side. Would you follow me? Would you follow me? I hear the waves come crashing down. There's nothing left here in this town. Would you follow me to the sea? Would you follow me? To the shores of the rocky sea, just you and me. At the edge, so cold and clean is where we will meet. Where we'll It's been a while since I've played some of these songs. I apologize for little
Ah,
mishap.
and that was Rick Concoff, timing expert, right there. Coming.
Well, I did sort of stop. I could see
Well,
why you would think that was the end.
you know what, Emily? That reminds me of a song, and I'll send it to you. And maybe I'll put it. I'll put it on YouTube if it's not on YouTube. That I wrote, and it was actually the birth song for my daughter Anya. Like I wrote it
Oh.
during her first year, and it ended up being called Wash Cycle. And what it was it's a song that sounds like a washing machine. And do you know how like you put your washing machine on and then like you think it's done and it becomes totally silent, but it's not done? And that's what the
Uh-huh.
song does. So it's kind of like that ending. Like when is the ending actually?
It's like a
I will send
trick.
it to you. You'll
Trick
have
ending.
exactly and whenever we perform it, people like start clapping and they're oh and it's just like that
Yeah, well
embarrassment
the
because
hope is that it's like so poignant and moving that it's like a lift and everyone just goes and then they get carried out with the outro, but I didn't quite deliver,
no,
so
but
it's okay.
no, but what actually I had intended to put little me on there and not giant me and like,
Oh, well,
hey, nice song.
you wanted
I
to join in. It's fine.
I have a question for you. I have a student. I'm my classes that I teach, and
Mhm.
I extracurricular in the Jewish community, and I'm meeting each one of my seniors. They're coming over to my house one by one to get their little gifts for graduating. And the first one that came is a young lady who is has a gifted voice and
Mhm.
has since she was a tiny child. Everybody loves it. She does musical theater. She's amazing. She's also like one of those 4.8 average, like amazing, AP 7 AP classes on thing.
Oh
Anyway,
lord.
she decided to go to Boston. It's it's a theater arts singing musical theater program.
Emerson?
It's Boston.
Boston Conservatory?
Yes,
Mhm.
something like that. Anyway, so I told her today, I was talking to her about it, and I was like, and I told her about you, and I was wondering for you, like taking, your moment, that big moment of graduation from high school, which this young lady just had,
Mhm.
and she has no idea how that's going to unfold. She's going to have, voice lessons and choir and all kinds of stuff. How did it impact your singing and your performing to do the BA and the MA that you did?
MFA.
MFA. Yeah, right. She's going for a BFA is what it is,
Mhm.
right? So how did that like what would you say like sort of succinctly was the most significant catharsis that it created for you as opposed to just going out at 19 years old and like going on the road and performing and like just or
Mhm.
like you have this amazing resource of training and experience and exposure to great teachers.
Mhm.
So what did it do for you? Was it worth it? Did you do you
That's an interesting question. I didn't go to a BFA program, so if
mm,
um I
okay. I
I
didn't
don't
know that.
it's very hard for me to actually remember what headspace I was in when I was applying to colleges. I what I
Let's
do
talk
know.
about the MFA then. Like what
Oh,
what
okay.
did it do to specialize in that way?
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is that I with the BA, like I do remember there's a story that my mom sort of tells that like she kind of had to kick me in the butt a little bit to like make a list of schools, and I think it's because I just there was no question that I had to go to college. Like I never considered not going to college, but at
Hmm.
that time I was not even 100% sure that I was what I was going to major in, which is crazy to think about because pretty soon after it was like theater 100%, I'm majoring in theater. And
Hmm.
I did theater in high school, including a show at the junior college in Santa Rosa that was like pretty sort of transformational for me, but I didn't do a BFA program. So the MFA really came at a different time in my life, though. When I entered the MFA, I was 26,
Hmm.
which is very different than 18.
Point well taken. I would say so.
So, yeah, so when I was 18, I think that I just was like, I, what I would say is that if you're a person who is like very clear on wanting to pursue, it's hard because I'm in a moment where I'm like, I wish I had gone to a BFA almost, like on some level, Um, because I did a liberal arts thing, which was great, but my college experience is kind of blurry for me. Like I think I got a good education, but I think if she is ready to go into that kind of a training atmosphere, it's good to do it when you know that.
She's
The
doing
reason,
it.
yeah, the reason that I did the MFA is because I got out in the world a little bit and did some professional gigs, theater gigs, and was working with people who had graduate degrees and who had
Mm-hmm.
more training, and I had never really had formal theater training, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really go to a theater school. I majored in theater and I went abroad for one semester and did Shakespeare in London, but I felt like I knew that I was good and I had talent, but I knew that I didn't have like a system to fall back on when I was struggling with my process. I didn't have tools. I didn't have artistic tools that I could like repeatedly
Right.
draw from, and I didn't have that foundation, and I knew that if I had that, it would make me a better artist. So that's why I decided to go to the MFA, and I really do feel like the tools I learned in the MFA have those things have stuck with me, and for me, my artistic training in the MFA, I can more readily point to how that educational experience has impacted me going forward professionally
Mm-hmm.
as a actor, as a also as a musician, and as just and as a coach, and as all the things that I do. So it's interesting. I also feel like there are some people who would say it's good to do liberal arts first and like just kind of see what you're into and get the holistic thing. But I just think if
Right.
you're clear and you feel like that's what you want to pursue and you're ready to, I think it's just a matter of like artistic training programs can be really intense and also they're really problematic.
And
They're all kind
competitive. And
and competitive, but they're all going through like an overhaul right now institutionally, as all institutions are, I
right.
think.
Right.
So
Right.
I think at 18 there it's tricky because it's like you want that rigorous training, but also it's kind of it can be a very volatile environment. So
Right. It's kind of like we're in a industrial, electronic, in kind of revolution of spirit, and I mean everything's changing.
yeah,
So, but thank you. That was a very genuine answer, and I love that you did both. I think
yeah,
that it's about who we are constantly becoming, and all the time, and it all makes up. Destiny looking backwards is written in stone, and
mm-hmm.
looking forward, it is infinitely some possibility, and that's what I love about life. And you've
Yeah,
obviously taken on um, figuring out what you're not only what you want to do and what you love doing and what you're good at, but what you're supposed to be doing in a sense.
mm-hmm.
Like what is your role in this world, and you know so
It's still emerging.
I know, and it will continue. So is mine.
Yeah, yeah,
So is mine.
yeah,
So I'd love to hear another song, and I'm really enjoying this. This is just like, like, and part of this, the design of this program is about intergenerational collaboration.
yes,
And like, I'm one generation, you're the age of my kids, and this
mm-hmm.
one is 17. So it's like three different eras, phases of life, of 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 still being creative and being and figuring it out, and not being afraid to go, okay, I want to do this different thing, or I want to do that different thing.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love watching that emerge for sure.
I think the one other thing that I would say to her is just to go into the training program. Right now it might feel like, there's only one thing that I want or one way that I can imagine that thing
Mm-hmm.
coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
And just to remember that going into a rigorous program like that and going to a program where you're being trained as an artist, as
Right.
a performer, but as an artist,
Mm-hmm.
is not about being a good student or like
Right.
checking the boxes and fitting
Right.
into the cookie cutter of what it means to be a trained actor or a trained musical theater performer. And that the more she can absorb the holistic experience and bring herself to it and sort of continue to stay open to how that journey will unfold for her, the more possibilities there will be.
It's
And that's
great
one of those
advice.
things that you say to young people, or
Yeah.
I've been said that too, and it's like you
Yeah.
can't hear it until you're ready. But
Well, she's going. I think it's called the Boston College of Performing Arts, something like
oh,
that. Yeah.
okay, okay,
And she
cool.
had to audition, and it was rigorous and brutal and all that kind of thing. Um, and
That's
but I
exciting.
love seeing the journey,
Yeah.
and I love that she's brave enough to go just as you were. Going back for an MFA is awesome.
Yeah. I'm really glad I did it. It was intense, but it was good.
Master's degrees are one of those things that you're way glad that you did it, but when you think about the work, you're like, how did I do that? And like, wow.
Yeah.
So they're good. They're intense experiences, and then they're great to look back and go, God, I'm glad I did that then.
Mhm. Definitely.
So what other song can
All
we
right.
hear?
I'm going to play a love song for you now.
Okay, I love songs.
I think I played this one for you last time.
Okay, well I'll enjoy it again.
Nope,
I'm
oh,
sure.
muted. There we go. Morning glory, greet the sun. I always knew you were the one. In the evening, curling shy, petals closing made me wonder why. But I should have guessed it. Knew I couldn't stress it. Always scared to make you turn away. Now I know the reason. We had to find our season just in time for me to hear you say, well, I'm a late bloomer, last blossom on the vine. And I heard a rumor that you like to take your time. Couldn't have happened any sooner. Wait for me, I'll wait for you. And I'll stick around while you figure it out, just to watch you bloom. Well, I've been busy building walls, too afraid to let my fortress fall. And I say I'm lonely, but it's hard to let you see who I really am when the walls come down in me. You know I'm a late bloomer, last blossom on the vine. And I heard a rumor that you like to take your time. Couldn't have happened any sooner. Wait for me, I'll wait for you. And I'll stick around while you figure it out, just to watch you bloom. Staying distant, keeping strong. I know this feeling can't be wrong. And when you come to find me, I'll be waiting, laying with you. Feels like home. I'm scared 'cause you're the only one. So tell me now, you know we're gonna make it. 'Cause I know you're a late bloomer, last blossom on the vine. And I've been spreading rumors that I'm gonna make you mine. Couldn't have happened any sooner. Wait for me, I'll wait for you. And I'll stick around while you figure it out, just to watch you bloom. Just to watch
I think that's the end. That was good timing.
Yes,
I love that song, and
you got it this time.
wow. I probably said this last time, but I'll say it again. That I love etymology, the study of roots of words,
Mm-hmm.
and if you look up the etymological definition of the word love, that comes before Hebrew in the Aramaic. The word they didn't have the word love; they had the word I give,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like that
Yeah.
because so much it's about people think it's about I take, but actually it's all about give and receive.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about take. So
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. This is Rick Concoff's Coffee House, and it's a chance for musicians to play and share. And I don't know where it's going to go, but wherever it goes, I'm happy about it. And I'm getting a really good chance to hear some fine musicians and share music with people in this new kind of venue, which is not going to go away. I think especially for people that can't afford concerts or people that can't get out of the house or people that are disabled or have illness or too young or whatever to drive and get out. A chance to hear music and appreciate it and creativity, and then hear the performers talk, I think is a nice thing to have.
Yeah, it's a great thing to add to the roster of ways that we connect with each other, and I'm glad that we've all had an opportunity to kind of figure it out during this
Yeah.
past year.
Well,
We
I
did play our first live gig last week
you
though.
did. How
Yeah,
was
in
I think I read about
inside,
that. How
which
was it?
was it what?
How was it?
It was great. It was Eric's band Pink Flamingo Rhythm Review, and we
Mm-hmm.
played at a really fun place called the Canary Club, which is this sort of like New Orleans style food and like supper, not supper club, but kind of like nightclubby kind of thing. And
Nice.
we played in there. It's a small space, but it was
Yeah.
full and people danced and it was really fun.
I bet it felt really good.
It did. It was
It
really
just
really fun.
to get to have the to receive back. I say that the whole virtual performing thing went from novelty to necessity
Mhm.
for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And for instance, right now there's so many um, older people who have now learned how to use the computers and Zoom and
Yeah.
YouTube and all that kind of thing a little bit. And although I have relatives who tune into some of my things, and they're always like, "Where's my picture? I can't hear myself. Can anybody hear me?" And they're like fully, this is like in my little services and family stuff I do. Like, can
Mhm.
someone hear me? Turn it up. Come in here and turn it up for me. And you hear all these, people trying to do it, and it's
Yeah.
adorable and
It is
sweet.
it is adorable.
Yeah, yeah. And so, by the way, I just visited my mom, who will be
Oh.
turning 90 next month,
Oh my
and
gosh, I
she's
remember your mother. I've met her before,
she is
I think.
sharp as a tack.
Wow.
She's just right there, and she's fun, and she laughs, and we have a great time, and we're friends, and she can't wait to get out and play mahjong, and she's the leader of the autobiography club and the
Wow.
the Jewish women's group called Ort, and she's in everything, and so she had to stay home for the last year and a half,
Right.
and that is really difficult. So I applaud her tenacity for
Yeah,
sure.
that's so awesome that she managed to stay engaged in all these
Yeah.
activities and stuff. And she did all that stuff via the internet, I assume.
Well, no, she did
No.
other stuff via the internet, but what I'm saying is those are the things she was used to doing every
Oh, I
day.
see. Yeah.
And my dad had just passed away, so it was like really
Oh.
hard. But
Oh.
she's like, I'm not going down. I'm not going down. And she's just like drives and,
Good for her.
runs yellow lights and the whole thing. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
ballsy.
yeah. But safely. Anyway, are we like, have we reached 5 or 6 songs, or do we still have another one?
We've I can do one. We've actually only done three, I think. We've been
Okay,
chit
then
chatting.
then let's do two in a row. I will just be quiet.
Okay, let's see what I still have here. Okay. I got two more for you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
My music partner Ron used to always say, "I'm going to play a song that I wrote for John Lennon, back in the 60s. Haha. Yeah, I know. He was cute.
You gotta have the humor.
He still is.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, oh, my mom heard that. My mom just
Is
came
she
on about
watching?
5 minutes ago. Yeah, 5:44. Oh, mom, you missed it. You'll have to listen later. You'll kvel mit nachas all over the place.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The first one is gonna be a song about sort of wallowing, and then the next one is gonna be a song about um wanting to get famous,
Mm,
which is not
I
actually.
like that one.
It's not actually finished. I think you've heard both of these, so
Okay, well,
yeah, we'll do a repeat here.
awesome. Please.
Okay, here we go. This one is called Proud. End of the night, riled up, turned on some song in my head, liquor on my breath. I don't wanna go home, not yet. I might destroy something. I wish you knew me better than you do. I'd do anything for you. I'm willing to be bad news just to get your attention. It's dangerous when I can see right through, right through you. Not proud, not proud, too proud to break out from it. Not proud, not proud, too proud to rise above it. Not proud, not proud to admit I kinda love it. Getting in trouble so I don't have to figure it out. But I'm not proud. Take a picture with your phone, but keep it in your mind. 'Cause this shit don't last forever, and it's hard to find. Well, they say hindsight's 20/20, babe, but I swear I'm going blind. So I keep crashing into strangers who are kind to me, and I treat them like old friends and family. But it's getting pretty lonely out here on Easy Street. Looks like time and all my pride might get the best of me. Not proud, not proud, too proud to break out from it. Not proud, not proud, too proud to rise above it. Not proud, not proud to admit I kinda love it. So I'm getting in trouble, and I don't have to figure it out. But I'm not proud. No, I'm not proud.
Encore, encore.
You know what? I
Bravo.
changed my mind. I'm not going to play the one about getting famous. I'm going to do a different
Okay.
one.
You just do anyone you like. And I want to remind people that we do this every Monday night at 6 o'clock, which is 9 o'clock East Coast time. And we may take a couple weeks off to go on a little vacation, but then we'll come back. And please remember that Emily Jeanne Brown loves money. No, I didn't mean to say it that way.
Well,
You
another
can,
thing for people who are here and who are watching, feel free if you feel compelled to send a tip to my Venmo, that would be lovely. But also, I would encourage you to check out my Patreon, where I'm actually offering workshops and sort of like special little live streams. It's kind of a crossover between my creative projects, which include my music, and also my coaching, which is around embodiment and sort of public speaking and leadership, but in that space, sort of more just embodiment and like confidence and vocation. And so we're talking about all of those things on my Patreon, and it's a place where you can hear like new demos I'm working on and things like that, and you can support for as low as $3 a month. So my Patreon is Patreon.
uh-oh.
No. Oh, we're back.
I don't know what happened. You said, and my Patreon is Patreon. Dot.
My Patreon is patreon.com/Emily Jeanne Brown.
I'm so glad. I was going to ask you to mention that. You know how like somebody goes like, the pot of gold is hidden in the,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right when it gets to the good part. Yeah.
I don't know if that was yours or mine. It must have been yours because
I think it was
it,
mine.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
okay. It was
Sorry.
dramatic. It was dramatic.
The
Yeah,
Patreon is just that powerful. You should join it. It's very
and
fun and low commitment
Patreon.
and high reward.
It's such a I'm going to join it. As a matter of fact, it's such a
Great.
great concept. It's a great
I would
concept.
love
I
to
love
have
it.
you.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
By the way,
Okay. Yes.
um, this is an endorsement of what you do. I just learned something very valuable from this teacher that Emily had and that I worked with in 2 years of voice lessons, and that is you don't have to lose your voice or have your voice decay as you get older. And voice, like, improving voice and quality of voice and use of voice and breathing is not just for singers, it's for
Mm-hmm.
anybody who talks, which is
That's right.
everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't people love to be 80, 90 years old and still have a strong talking voice? And he saved my voice, really. So
Oh,
this is possible, and I'm sure the stuff that you offer is enriching and wonderful. And like, so anybody, I recommend anybody to take coaching and voice lessons, not just singers and musicians.
definitely. And I really, in my coaching, I really mostly work with people who are working on speaking, public
Right.
speaking. So it's cool. It's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big supporter.
Let's see if I remember how to play this song. I gotta take
Okay.
a second because it's actually the one in the YouTube video that I sent you.
Uh huh. And I think after this song, we'll kind of like sign off.
You can meet me. Yeah, that's what it is.
You got it?
All right, here we go. Here goes nothing. You can meet me, angel eyes, in the city. That is where I have chosen to stay. Ah. Oh, I know you have always loved the country, but my big dreams, they won't seem to go away. say that you're longing for adventure, my darling, pretty darling, so am I. I will take you by surprise one of these days. Fly to California just to get away. And you won't ask me to stay, 'cause we both know we are better off this way. I can feel you, hear your heartbeat, see you laughing in the bright golden sun of the west. I believe in the strength of your spirit, and I want you to know I wish you all the best. Though it hurts me deep in my bones to part from you, I have faith in the power of time, and the universe knows that I love you. You'll be with me in the city on my mind. I will take you by surprise one of these days. Fly to California just to get away. And you won't ask me to stay, 'cause we both know we are better off this way. You can meet me, angel eyes, in the city.
Well, I love every one of those songs, and it sounds like the internet's getting a little bit tired,
Oh,
and I think,
really? Oh,
yeah,
bummer.
just
I'm
a little
sorry.
bit. But it could be you, it could be me, it could be both of us. That's what's nice about it, and that's what's
We
nice
don't know
about,
who to blame.
right, email too. When someone says, "I never got the email," like,
Right.
really? Because I know you got the email.
Right, right, right.
And I never got the text. I didn't see it. And but anyway, beautiful, beautiful songs. I'm incredibly happy to hear you and proud to hear you. And they have now these new, I forget what it's called, but it's a new amazing software for musicians to record together. So if you ever want me to put on some violin tracks, I can do that virtually.
Oh my God, that'd be so
All
fun.
you have to do is hum them or scribble them out or
I'll
leave
play
it to
them for
me.
you in violin MIDI.
Exactly. And just, and I in the 70s, I had a duo that did studio work, and we were called the Marin Philmoronic. And it was me on violin
Uh-huh.
with a synthesizer
Oh
and
my God.
blended together that it sounded like an orchestra.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming. That being said, that's one of my favorite cliches. That being
That
said,
being
is that
said,
new? Is that new?
That being
That being,
said,
yeah. Is that a recent
I don't think
cliche
it's that new.
or colloquial term? That
Well,
being
you mean
new.
like when people are
That
like,
being said,
"Well, I really appreciate you." Well, I think saying it in the way that you just said it, I don't know. That being said is usually like, however,
it's a
also
segue.
it's a
It's a segue.
segue, but it's also
Yeah.
like an antithetical segue.
But it's more of in addition than but.
Mm. I think sometimes people start to say things like that
And
habitually,
it's
and it loses
fascinating.
its
Yeah.
meaning. It loses
Yes.
its meaning. Yeah.
Right? Oh,
I
that's
do. I had an issue with absolutely. I say absolutely a lot when
yeah.
I'm being interviewed or when I'm like
Yeah.
doing a back and forth. I'll say absolutely like to lead into what I'm saying, and then I hear myself back and realize, oh geez, I repeated
How
that
about
word.
perfect?
Oh my
Perfect.
my dad hates that one. That's his pet peeve.
Perfect. Perfect. There's
Perfect.
there
It's the waiter thing. But also I
perfect. Yeah.
sympathize with waiters because being a waiter sucks. So
Right.
they can say whatever they want.
So that being said,
That being
that was
said,
perfect. That was perfect. So have a really good night.
thank you. You
And
too.
you know that definitely if I ever get out there, I'll be visiting you guys.
Yay.
And you be well. And thank you. And everybody send Venmo to Emily if you want, or take part in her
Patreon.
Patreon account. And I'm gonna do that right when we get done. And check it out.
Yay, I'm
So
so
I
excited
will
to have you. It's going to be there's 15 of us now or 16
good.
including me. So there'll be 17 with you.
Good. And I will send you some of my songs that you will, I think,
Yay.
enjoy. So you guys take care. Good night. Good night. Good night. And this is Rick Concoff's Coffee House, and that was Emily Jeanne Brown.